Look, it is so simple to increase your check averages. And if you will just execute these 6 simple strategies I'm about to give you, your sales by the end of the year are going to be astronomically higher. All right, hey, how's everyone doing today? Dave Allred, the Real Barman here from barpatrol.net and therealbarman.com. I want you to listen to me today because I am telling you, small actions add up to big results. This is like compound interest when investing. All right, you don't realize how much it adds up because it seems so small on a day-to-day basis, but in the end, you will be rolling in it. Now, I want you to understand that there are 2 ways to look at averages. Average spend per check or average spend per cover or guest. All right, in this video, I'm talking about raising the overall check averages, but really you should be tracking average spend per guest because that gives you more of an authentic breakdown of how successful you are. Because with average check, it could be like a 2 top or a 10 top, and maybe the 2 top spends $160 and the 10 top spends $140. That makes the average check $150, but these are 2 completely different tables. The 2 top spent $80 per person and the 10 top spent $14 per person. That's a wide range. But if you put it all together, you can see that the per guest spend turns out to be $25.83, and it averages out as it should. And that number is all you need. It doesn't matter how many people are sitting at the table. Okay, does that make sense? I hope so. Now, in order to track spend per cover or guest, you need to make sure your servers are entering how many covers into the POS when your guests sit down, or you're not going to have that data. Okay, so make sure they're doing that. So I know the title of this video is how to raise check averages because that's the more common phrasing. But really what we're attempting to do here with these strategies is focus on raising the average spend per guest, which in turn raises the check average. All right, got it? Is that all clear? Okay, then let's get to the strategies. Strategy number 1 is upselling. And yes, everyone knows about upselling. But do you actually not only train your servers to do it, but then follow up to ensure that they're executing the strategy? And I would venture to say, not as much as you should, right? I know it seems boring, but owners are always looking for new and fancy ways to increase revenue, and yet they ignore one of the most powerful weapons in the arsenal. And in case you've been living under a bridge for like the past 100 years, upselling is the process of encouraging your guests to upgrade their order or suggesting add-ons like cheese or bacon or avocado to increase the check average. Because who doesn't love bacon, right? Of course, the servers have to be subtle. You can't just push expensive items and add-ons down the throats of the guests or they're going to get annoyed and they're going to set things on fire. All right, with that said, my favorite upselling technique is so simple and subtle, it's like knocking them out with a pillow. All right, I've been teaching this to bartenders and servers for years, and I call it pick your poison. And here's how it works. All right, when someone orders a basic mixed drink like a vodka soda, gin and tonic, whiskey, Coke, the bartender or server simply asks, sure, what's your favorite vodka or gin or whiskey, whatever. All right, the magic of this is that most people don't want to appear cheap in front of their friends. All right, so 4 out of 5 times, they will name a brand. They'll be like, I'll take Stoli or Bombay Sapphire or Bullet or whatever, which immediately increases your spend per guest. All right, and it's so damn easy. Not to mention that premium brand name liquors not only increase sales, but they are more profitable than well liquor. Double whammy. So that's upselling. That's number 1. Make sure you're doing it. Okay, strategy number 2, add an order and pay system to your bar, restaurant, brewery, whatever business you're running. And if you don't know what I'm talking about a system like GoTab in which the guests are able to scan a QR code at their table to bring up your digital menu on their phones, and then they're able to order their food and their drinks right from their mobile devices all by themselves. All right, from there, it then prints up in the kitchen, the bar, and your servers simply run the food and drinks out to them. All right, how does this increase check averages, Dave? Well, it is a proven fact that people will spend on average 30% more when they're able to order themselves from their mobile devices because they can see all the options right there on their phones. They can see their add-ons, they can see the modifiers that they may not be privy to if the server is taking their order. And so they end up adding more to their cart. This is a magical process. Order and pay systems also lower labor costs and increase table turnover. So this is a service model you need to look at. All right, I would definitely look into adding this to your business. I personally love it. All right, strategy number 3, add more modifier and add-on options to each menu item. And we just talked about the guests looking at the menu and seeing their options and being like, bacon on my halibut? Hell yeah. All right, but if you don't have add-ons showing on your menu, it probably won't even cross their mind. All right, make sure to put all of those upsell options right in front of their face to make it easy for them to spend more money. Okay, strategy number 4 is menu engineering. Now, I've talked about menu engineering in a few of my other videos. In fact, you can go check this one out here when you're ready, where I get more specific. But with menu engineering strategies, you can actually get your guests to spend more money just by how your menu is designed. These are subconscious strategies that get your guests' eyes to go exactly where you want them to. All right, and it also gets them to care less about your pricing. So go check that video out when you're ready, and I'll show you exactly what to do and exactly how all of that works. All right, moving on to strategy number 5, price anchoring. What is price anchoring, you ask? Allow me. Price anchoring is the process of putting an extremely high-priced item on the menu. Could be food, could be drink. All right, which in turn makes every other item on the menu not seem so bad, which means you can sneak those lower priced items up just a little bit in price. So in other words, maybe on your cocktail menu, you have like a 25-year-old single malt scotch for $75 per drink or per glass. All right, now that's way out of most people's price range, but then right below it on the menu, you list another nice single malt scotch for $25 that you might normally list for $15 or $18. All right, after having just looked at the $75 scotch, $25 doesn't seem so bad at all. But if you list the second one first for $25, if that's your top option, that might seem too high for someone and they might move on to something cheaper. All right, you see how that works? You can up the price of your more reasonable items slightly and sell them for more than you normally would just by putting this expensive item on there. Okay, not to mention, some people will actually buy the more expensive one. Hell, I would put on Louis the 13th, which would run like $800 per shot because some people will order it just to show off to their friends. Great strategy, price anchoring. And then finally, strategy number 6 is a simple but effective one, and it is to push desserts to go. And of course, if they want to have coffee and dessert there at the restaurant, that's fine. All right, it raises sales and it raises check averages. But I'm all about turning tables, baby. All right, turn and burn, as long as it's done naturally and not forcibly, of course. All right, we aren't hurting people out of the restaurant just to get them out of there. All right, but the other reason I like suggesting dessert to go is that you know how it is. Most people are stuffed after their meals. All right, so they're almost always decline when you offer them dessert. But if you come up and say, hey, I know you're probably stuffed, but would you be interested in getting a dessert to go? You know, you could break it out later while you're watching the movie at home and you might be craving it by then. You'll be thinking about it. You know, anyway, I found this tactic to be highly successful. Get a dessert to go. Okay, so there you go. There's 6 really simple strategies you can use to raise the spend per guest in your restaurant. You just need to make sure that you execute it on a daily basis. You know, if you do nothing else, come in every day and run your business with enthusiasm and passion, and everyone around you will feel it and follow suit, including your staff, including your guests, everyone. And as a result, your place will become busier and busier and your sales will explode right through the roof. Okay, so thanks for being here today and hanging out with me. I hope this helped get your brain working a little bit, give you some ideas. I am going to see you next time. I'm out.